An Agunot is a woman whose husband has vanished, and we don't know whether he's alive or dead. And since he may be alive, she's still married, or she may still be married. And since he's vanished, she can't get a bill of divorce. And consequently, she's in this very tragic situation that she's enchained, that she's not living with a husband or with a person, a man, and she can't get married to another one. The subject that we're going to talk about, which is called Agunot, but is not really a case of Agunot, is where a spouse, be it a husband or a wife, but it's usually a wife, wants to get a divorce, but since divorces have to be consensual on a part of both spouses, if one of the spouses is not willing to give or to accept a get, then the other spouse will be enchained. In other words, presumably they'll be living alone. They won't be able to get married because they're still married. This again is a very, very tragic situation. And it's not a peripheral situation. There are many such cases. Without knowing the exact numbers or percentages, and we can't know the percentages because the rabbinic system of marriage and divorce is such that many women, and that's the majority cases, don't even get to a Beit Din to start off the process because they know in advance that it's difficult, it's expensive, and so on and so forth. A variety of reasons. So the numbers are even greater than the numbers that are normally appear in the sort of statistical reviews of the subject. Now, since this is among the most vexing and distressing problems that face the rabbinically oriented community, the Orthodox community, there have been any number of attempted solutions to this problem. The problem, as I said, at its base, is that in order for a bill of divorce to be valid, it has to be given voluntarily by the husband and received voluntarily by the wife. If either of those parties are not acting of their own volition, then the get is not valid. Technically in Hebrew it's called a get me'useh, a coerced get, or a get kafui, which means the same thing, a forced get. So in the normal situation where a woman has been abused by a husband and wants to get divorced, and the husband's a nasty fellow, and he doesn't want to give her a divorce, or he wants to squeeze money out of her, and they go to the Beit Din, and the Beit Din says, yeah, it's quite true, you should give a divorce. This is an impossible situation. And they give a judgment stating that the husband is obligated to give a divorce. That is what in Hebrew is called a chiyuv get, an obligation to give the divorce. But the husband says, I don't want to give one. You can't force me. Now, what does it mean you can't force me? This is the real crux of the question. You can't force me, because if you force me, then the get that I give will be invalid, because it's a get me'useh, or a get kafui, a forced get, or a coerced get. So this is the basic question, the basic problem.